Hello, hello, welcome to Anime Anonymous. I am CJ.
And I am Ace.
And Jess is here.
And we are going to talk about one of my favorites, Angel Beats. This came out when? When did it come out?
2010.
Look at that. I swear this thing's older than that, but that makes sense because this was one of the first, outer animes that I watched. Like, instead of, your stereotypical Naruto, Bleach, Dragon Ball. This was one of the first, rando ones that I watched.
Was it on Toonami?
No. I found this, online. I think back in the day when, Anime Ultima was a thing, I don't think that's still a site nowadays. I think that's, viruses if you try
must
to
be an OG, because the oldest...
Or no, Anime Freak.
Yes, that's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
AnimeFreak.tv was the first website that I was
Anime Freak.
Okay, I'm committed.
Wow. Just don't know anything about that.
No, I don't.
Crunchyroll. Is it on Crunchyroll or Netflix?
Nah, Crunchyroll had...
or Hulu?
Crunchyroll was a month behind. And then it had all of these commercials.
Yeah.
I'm in a 20-minute video, you have 3 commercials
old
in a
school
20
Crunchyroll
was
was not the wave. Neither was Hulu. I had downloaded Hulu when it first came out, and then I was like, this is trash. I'm just going to go online.
Only had the completed stuff. They had nothing ongoing until later on, but at that time,
now
only completed.
We're in the future.
Yeah.
Look at that.
I'm much appreciated.
And you're here with us.
Yes.
So before we jump into it, get through the rigmarole. As always, you guys want to talk to us, hit us up on Instagram or Twitter. Instagram's XAnimeAnonymous. Twitter is XAnimeAnonymous.
On Audius, it's Anime Anonymous.
And then email is xanimeanonymousx@gmail.com. So now on to the whole subject. First things first. All of us do kind of your first thoughts on it. So I'm going to go you because you're the first. You're she and I have watched it basically what now? Well, me 3 times technically, her twice.
Yeah. So this will be my second time.
Yeah.
First impressions. Very sad, but very engaging. But I wasn't crying like I've had in historical anime that we've reviewed, but I can definitely see how the heartstrings could be pulled. It probably because I was trying to understand if people were passing on because of their passion or passing on because of some of the events that were going on in the story. But overall, definitely enjoyed it. The music was phenomenal. It kind of felt like the artist was using this anime to kind of promote themselves and get their music career started. So definitely goes to show that the quality in the music was definitely there, and it showed. It was a very high rating, but I'll give you my score towards the end. But I definitely want to give it a very high rating. This is definitely one that I wish I would have watched closer to 2010. I think it definitely would have been a nice topic to either discuss or debate with people that also watched anime. But it's kind of hard. This one's hard for me to elaborate on for some reason without giving all the information. I want to go in.
Yeah. I got you.
Yeah, but that's. I'm gonna leave it at that. What you think, Jess?
He's like, wait, that's too far. That's too far. Can't say that. That's what was going through your whole head.
I'll wait.
This is my second time watching it, and it definitely is a mix of, you have some funny moments. It's an emotional roller coaster, but it's definitely more emotional towards the end. And I do like how the writers kind of followed that. They kept you engaged, and you were like, okay, you have me interested. Okay, you're going to make me sad. Okay, I'm going to need a tissue box. Okay, I'm really going to need some tissues and, all the comfort in the world. But the artist, like the style of art was really pretty. The music was phenomenal, of course. If you are a big piano lover, this is the anime for you. Straight up. And yeah. All right, CJ, was third time a charm?
Yeah,
do you still love this anime?
Yeah, I absolutely love this anime, and so as I've said in the past, I used to play musical instruments, but the one that was mainly tied with was piano. So I love the opening to this anime. I had never skipped it. Like even when I watched it with her, I would always let it play. I actually used to because I don't think I've mentioned it on here. Well, I might have just randomly with us talking. I like never sleep. Like I have a horrible sleep schedule.
He does.
When it was when I was a kid, I was very kind of the same way. I used to play this to go to sleep. Like I'd play the openings track, but the actual full song. I want to say it's by Lisa, but I'm not sure. And I would kind of play that track back to back and just go to sleep because it's a really peaceful song,
Right.
Especially the whole song. But yeah, I absolutely love this anime. I mean, there are some nitpicky things that I can say about it, but as a whole, like just the nostalgia vote for me, it's automatically going to be high. But yeah, so we'll kind of jump into it. Is it by Lisa? Mm-hmm. See, I knew it. Lisa, shout out to her. She's a beast. So
I guess
you go ahead because I was about to say like I remember a lot of this, so like I can most likely expound on some stuff, especially since I've seen it multiple times.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, I'm gonna start with just reading off the synopsis.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
And then so everybody can get up to speed. So this is called Angel Beats, and it begins with death is one of many mysteries that have left humanity in the dark since the dawn of time. However, the burning question of what happens to the soul after one dies is soon answered to 17-year-old Yuzuru, waking up with no previous memories in a dimension between life and death. He discovers the unsettling truth of the afterlife. Taking the form of a high school, this bizarre dimension is designated to shelter those who died unwanted deaths. Feeling wronged by God during their earthly lives, the school's residents have decided to form the afterlife's battlefront, a rebellious faction determined to oppose their godlike student council president, Kanade, Angel, and Tachibana is her last name. The group's leader, Yori, recruits Otanashi in their fight against Angel in order to take control of their own lives. However, questioning their morality behind their actions, Otanashi takes a step behind the enemy lines to understand the opposing side of their common fate. There you go. That's Angel
Yeah,
Beats.
that name changes so many times. The Battle Block Brigade, like they just come up with
We're not
random
done yet.
names. Yeah, like he's like,
Underworld.
It's like, are you guys even trying anymore? Like with some of the names. But one thing I will say is I really like the beginning of this anime. It kind of just throws you immediately into it.
Oh, yeah, I was lost.
Like he wakes up, he's just like in a straight battlefield. Like, what the heck is going on? You're like, we're fighting against like the unkillable opponent or whatever you see. Like he's like, dude, she's just a chick. Like,
And
I'm gonna go talk to her.
Sniper rifle pointed right at
Yeah.
her, and he's just like,
like,
what why are you shooting a girl? I'm gonna talk to her. I'm like, first off,
And then
she-
she's so chill. Like she's just talking to him. And then she's like, yeah, no, you can't die here. He's like, you can't die here. He's like, I need proof.
Right.
Straight up just marks him.
right in the heart.
Just done. Bro. Like, that is a way to start an anime.
Right. I was like, she really just stabbed this man in the heart, and then he just wakes up like, oh, I guess this is true.
It didn't end there.
He was
though.
like, you stabbed me. She's like, you wanted proof. She's a real one. She's like, facts.
Oh man, nah, this was definitely intense. Just to wake up to someone literally hunting down someone with an assault rifle, you're just like, what am I watching? And I think that's what threw me off because I've seen this already, but the beginning just kind of was like, you don't remember though. But then by like the 6th episode, I was like, oh, okay, I'm up to speed.
What were you gonna say, Ben?
No, I was just saying that first episode. I mean, the poor guy got murdered so many times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, the one guy comes in like, you disrespected Yuri. How dare you? And he comes in with like his
battle axe.
and he goes,
that 100 hit combo, I was dying laughing on that.
This
That was
thing
probably
has so many callbacks to so many things. My man just like hit him with the muda muda muda.
I was cracking up. Yeah, they definitely had some funny moments. Another funny moment that I can recall is the body slam session. The girl trying to become a pro wrestler.
Oh yeah.
I was like, bruh, are you really trying to send her off by getting body slammed over and over until she perfects it? I was like, that was serious.
The funny ones for me were like the random dude. I think it's Hinata, who like constantly forgets about the traps and just gets murked by the track.
I was so upset with him.
Like,
I'm like,
knocked
bro,
out the window.
Yeah, I'm like, how are you forgetting?
And the music is so peaceful every time he gets knocked out. It's like boosh.
No, remember the classroom scene where they were like, all right, we're going to be cool, but
Oh,
we
have to
we have to mess up the test.
Oh my god.
Oh, with the rocket under the chair.
Yeah, the rocket in the chair. It's like, I have to.
Piano.
Yeah. And then the other guy's like, no, I got this. He stands up, he like pulls off his shirt. They're like, wow, impeccable form. And then the other dude gets blasted off. He's like, why me?
I was literally dying off of that one. And then she was like, I mixed it up this time. I made it rotate. I was like, oh my goodness. Nah, he had bad luck. He had bad luck. For sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, that's great.
But like they do a lot in a little bit of episodes.
Yes,
because it's 12. There's technically 13, but it's not a full 13. It's like an OVA that happens in the future. I'll tell you about it.
Okay.
But in that 12 episodes, they have so many mini arcs. It's ridiculous. But it actually is not like super confusing. That is one of my nitpicky things. I'm like, they did do a lot in that amount. I mean, you went from them fighting Angel, who Angel is one of my favorite characters in any anime. I love her to death. Then you go from her, to them trying to find the underground crew and get all of them getting murked, right, like in the funniest like red flag ways in like a movie. It's like, go on, and then they just got destroyed by something. They like had like a Harrison Ford like rolling ball thing come through. There's so many movie calls in this.
Every single trap that you can think of that's in a movie.
Yeah,
it kind of reminded me of National Treasure.
Yeah, National Treasure, and what's that Harrison Ford movies?
Indiana Jones.
Indiana Jones. There we go. Good Lord, I couldn't think of it. And then like they get down there, they're like making all these different weapons and stuff. Then
from dirt.
Yeah.
I'm like,
what?
Okay.
It's like, huh?
I think the first time I watched this, I'm like, I didn't remember the part where they created with dirt.
But that's how she makes her weapons too. So like,
Angel, she uses dirt to make hers, or
she uses the same kind of element that they use.
Okay.
But like that's the thing, they're making all like attacking stuff, and she's making like it may look like it's attacking, but it's all defense stuff that she has. Like, but it looks like she can murk you with it.
I was like, her hand blades.
Yeah, Sonic hand Sonic is what she calls it.
I was like, she is OP. And then I was like, why haven't they ever tried to make similar equipment as her?
Well, because she has her own program. That Angel program is what she wrote.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I was a little bit confused on that, and confused on like the coding part when they were trying to figure out like who was programmed as a NPC, who was programmed as a shadow.
See, and that's one thing. It's like nobody there is technically an NPC when they start there, right?
Right.
Except for like some of the teachers and stuff. Like the adults are NPCs, right?
Okay.
But for the most part, every student that goes there is supposed to be real. Mm-hmm. And then once they just
succumb to their circumstance,
they just become an NPC, right? Okay. And they lose their memories and stuff. And you find out later, like, that's really not what's supposed to be happening. It's supposed to be like a stopping point, and then you go.
Right. And that's because they wanted to stay there. Because
they couldn't really
move
on. And they didn't know that's what you had to do. Like, so that's, like, there should be a guide, right? And the guide is missing in this iteration. Like, but there should be a guide to help you, and they talk about it like at the end, like
that makes sense.
Where he has the room of computers and all that stuff. Like that's why there's so many quote unquote NPCs is because the guide who's supposed to help them move along basically gave up. So it's just like that's why it's in such a dire need. But then you have people who come in who. Like Yui, like the main girl, right? She, I want to say they call her like an H name, like that's her nickname. But anyway, Yuri, she's intelligent. She gets there and kind of perceives it the wrong way, right? Like, oh, these people are disappearing. Like that's the wrong thing. Like, no, that's what should be happening. Yeah. Like. You should be
obliterated.
Yeah.
And that, like, I think that was, like, episode 6. I'm like, so people are getting obliterated for following their passion? And I was like, nah, that
see, that's the thing. They didn't know. They thought Angel was obliterating people. Because, like, they say that if the term first shows up, I want to say even in the first episode, but maybe second one. They're like, the reason they're fighting Angel is because she's obliterating people. Well, Angel is supposed to be kind of that in-place guide right now. Like, that's what she's trying to do. She's trying to get people to pass along. Mm-hmm. Okay. But they misconstrued it. They're like, yo, this person just is poof, gone. Like, she's killing people. And because, like, she's such a monotone kind of character and, like, this is what she knows she needs to do. Mm-hmm. If they, like, it's almost like the movie version of Civil War, right? Because the comic version of Civil War is actually insane. But Civil War, my main gripe with that Marvel movie is like, if y'all just sat down and talked, this movie would have been good. Like, this is so petty. Like, if they had sat down and talked, like, off rip, this would have been a much different anime, right?
Very easy. Now, so I was happy when okay. Maybe not the transition or the speed that he decided to walk and talk to Kanade. But I do like, he was like, why don't I just talk to her?
Yeah, exactly. He's like, I don't get this.
Yeah, he was like, nah, don't do it. And I was like, well, you could shoot at her legs like they recommended. And then she just heals in 24 hours or whatever the time limit is. And I'm just like, she obviously is similar to you guys because y'all can't die either.
Yeah.
So I'm like, how is she the enemy or whoever? It was just confusing at first.
Yeah. Well, because at first you're like, oh, maybe she is like a program, right? Because she has like no personality. She is very robotic. And then...
But she's been there the longest, right?
Yeah, but they were kind of calling her like an entity. They weren't even saying she was like a real person. And then he's like, no, she is a real person. And then they're like, oh, snap, okay, she really is a real person.
That was at the end. They're like, didn't you know? Didn't you know she was a real person? I'm like, yeah, the rest of the viewer knew. But why the characters took so long? And then they're like, no, we like her now. Mm-hmm. Yeah. We need her power. So now, a beastly moment that Kanade did was that she like jumped into the swarm of the shadows, did like this Zorro
she's a
tornado, like slicing, dicing. I was like, clean.
any fights that she really is a part of is just sick.
Yeah.
I mean, you had the whole duel of fates with herself, like that. It was just any scene with her I really like. Like she's just I just really like her as a character.
The wings.
Yeah,
that was so aesthetically
she's
pleasing.
She's like they don't work, but they're cute.
But then they literally work, and she's like, whoosh.
Yeah, she can kind of like glide. Like she can't actually like fly with them.
She was flying,
but she uses them for what they are.
Yeah, I'm like, no, they look amazing. So she definitely had the best visuals. And
she had like Hand Sonic Part 2 or something.
Oh, all the way up to 5.
Yeah, she's like, yeah, this one's not really good. This one's this one. Oh, go back to this one. Okay, I'll.
And then breaks through the door of the jail. I'm like, she is OP. I was definitely a huge fan of her. What else did I want to? Yuri. Oh, so it was one point in the show where Yuri and Kanade had me kind of thinking like maybe they're connected somewhere, but they just wanted to be friends. And then I realized, oh, Yuzuru is actually the one that donated his heart.
Oh, yeah.
And then they're connected by that. And I was like, I remember. It literally was just like,
yeah, his background is rough. Yuzuru's. I mean, all of them kind of have like bad ones. Like Yuri with her her sisters, her younger sisters.
Yeah, she was watching them all by herself, and they got murdered.
Yeah, like hers is rough. His is rough. But like they all kind of have their different ones. Yui, the one that was that you were talking about. Yeah, she.
That was so cute.
Yeah,
her passing was so cute.
Did you watch the endings to each episode? Like the ending kind of credits.
Like the last 30 seconds.
Like when credits are rolling, basically.
Oh no! I clicked to the next.
So what happened? Every ending one, when they're starting to help people, has a little playthrough of what could have been or what might happen for that character. So, like for Yui, like when the ending for hers is like she's back where like in the bed, and instead of just her mom being there, the dude,
the guy was there.
like shows up. He like hands her the ball, and like they're talking and all that stuff. Like that little sequence happens for different people when they get quote unquote obliterated in the ending credits.
Oh, okay. So I'm gonna have to rewatch those.
I thought it was Takamatsu.
No, it's Hanada. Takamatsu is the one
the
with
guy
the
who's still
with
at the end.
muscular.
He was still there at the graduation.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but they all they basically the only one who doesn't is Yuzuru.
So on his, I saw the ending for his, and he's walking back in the city. He sees Kanade in like a little sun hat posted up on the wall, and I'm like, so he's back? He's back alive?
So no. So technically, that's them quote unquote saying, oh, they did get reincarnated or whatever. But realistically, so the OVA episode 13, it's not even that long. I want to say it's like maybe a few minutes, but I could be wrong because I didn't rewatch it this time, but I remember watching it.
Right.
There's all these like girls talking and all this stuff, and they're like, oh, the superintendent's coming. And they're like, oh, I heard he's like a hottie or whatever. And they're like, oh, he's single because he doesn't have a girlfriend. And it's him. So he's not supposed to be there. He had no quote-unquote real regrets.
Right.
So he ends up there incorrectly. So means he'll basically never leave.
Right.
So he becomes the superintendent now for the school. And there's no real NPCs. It's like all real kids now. And so he comes in and he like says something and it kind of ends.
He's the guide.
Yeah, he's the guide. But they call him like the superintendent.
He can't really pass on.
Yeah, it's such a rough ending for him. Like it sucks.
He can't.
It's like a bittersweet
Yeah, episode 13 was the full episode for at least the one that I watched. But they do have a 14.
Or well, then it might be 14, episode 14. Then
Okay.
I couldn't
overs.
remember. Yeah, I couldn't remember if it was 12 episodes or 13 episodes because I just watch them.
Yeah, I'm gonna definitely run it back.
There's
watch those
at
overs.
least one OVA. I don't know if it was split into two, but I know there's at least one. There might be a second one that maybe I didn't watch or I just forgot about.
Let me confirm.
But yeah.
For release order, there is an epilogue, OVA, and then there is a Angel Beats special side story.
Yeah,
two episodes.
I didn't watch the side story.
Yeah, so technically it's 3 side stories, all within 2010.
Yeah, no, they all came out very close, but it was like
That's my only gripe. I'm like, why? I know I understand the importance of him being a guide, but I don't like him being a guide.
Yeah, no, because it's well, I mean, you look at it. This was quote unquote kind of ahead of its time in the sense that you look at like movies that came out later, right? That didn't have your stereotypical happy endings,
Right.
That then got hate for it, like what's his name? Will Smith's I Am Legend. Like a lot of people hated the OG thing on it because like he doesn't live and yada yada yada. So like they got so much hate for it that they eventually, I think in some areas, they did like a retaping for the ending of it.
Really?
Yeah, I want to say that's what happened.
Okay,
But then, like, look at Mass Effect. But I am one of those people that hated it. Mass Effect, the game, Mass Effect 3. It turned it out. Good lord. It turned out. It didn't matter which of the 3 paths you went. It basically all ended the same way. And it wasn't really, like, a great ending. So people were like, this is trash. Like, how dare I do, like... Honestly, it could have been years of your life, technically, because you're waiting from Mass Effect 1 to 2 to 3, and it's like, this is my ending.
Right.
So, like, this was ahead of its time. Like, it wasn't your stereotypical ending. Like, you want him to be happy, but then you do want her to be happy, and she can't really unless she's gone. Like,
right.
So it's just, and it's such a heartbreaking scene for me, because, like, he's just like, there's no poof, there's no, like, little fadeaway. Like, she's just gone. Like, just gone. And he's, like, just...
scratching the air for her. I'm just like, so how do you get out, sir?
Yeah, no.
I was waiting for a season 2. I was looking for the next season. I'm like, what's going on here? It's just 3 overs, and it doesn't look like those overs explain how he gets out. Yeah, I got mixed feelings.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I remember when I first brought it to her, because I had given her like really good ones before, and so she was a little bit like mixed on it. And the ending,
Bawling her eyes out.
Oh yeah, I cried again too.
Oh, when you rewatched it for this one,
I was trying to hold it together, but I just no.
Now I've never watched this in dubbed. How is it in dubbed?
I think it was very clear.
It was pretty clear.
Yeah. I like the dialogue.
Their voices were pretty funny. Like Yui's was like an annoying, like like young girl. Angel's was still deadpan.
Yep.
Deadpan. The dub singing was actually not bad. Mm-hmm. It wasn't bad.
So, were you able to listen to the song when they were playing the concerts? Mm-hmm. Excuse me. Were you playing the concerts? That was in English for you, or still Japanese?
It was still in Japanese.
Okay, because it was still in Japanese for me as well.
Mm-hmm.
I was just making sure.
Yeah, they didn't dub that.
It was really.
And they didn't have to. It was fine. It was great.
Yeah, it was beautiful.
You can't dub Lisa. Get the hell out of here.
If they had anything like dubbed, like we saw Belle. That version was dubbed, and it was still beautiful in both English and
Japanese. But she remade the songs. So it was 2 different singers. So that's what they would have had to do. They would have had to get like an English group to do it. Which there are like plenty of groups like on Spotify or stuff that dub anime songs. So they could have, but I feel like that's probably more of a recent kind of thing because it's happened a lot for like Sword Art. Even Overlord has some American artists who like redo it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's the other one? The Black Clover. Like there's English versions of those songs. So yeah.
Yeah,
But I think
that
it's more
second season to come out for Black Clover.
Black Clover.
But going back to the Will Smith I Am Legend alternate ending, what was the original ending, and then what was
he
the
died.
alternate?
Like he basically gets eaten, and that's how like the virus or whatever gets killed because like he has like the cure in him or something. And
He dies how?
The zombie dudes, or well, quote unquote vampires, kill him. How do you forget? Like that's the OG ending. Like he's trying to cure old dude vampire's wife, whatever, and they're like all banging on the wall out there. And he's like smacking his head, and the window's cracking, and then they finally break through.
Oh, so what's the alternate ending?
They like.
I remember that.
I don't remember if they. Because I've never actually went and watched the alternate ending, but I want to say it's like he survives somehow and like meets up with the Hispanic girl and her kid,
And then they drive off in the truck.
I think so. I don't know. I've never seen it, but I know I heard. That's why I said don't quote me on it. But I heard a lot of people saying that they had redone part of the ending because of so much hate of it.
And then so I think.
And obviously, I wouldn't have done research because it just popped in my head for the episode right now.
Yeah, so I'm thinking like based on what you said, the alternate ending could have been, and this could be wrong. They drive off. They end up finding like a forest, like reserve area, and then they end up spending the rest of their life there as like a survival family.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I've never seen it myself, so
drawing blanks. But back to Angel Beats. Was there any scene that you did not like?
Jess.
I'm trying to think. I would say that the one character that probably annoyed me the most was, what's his name? One of the programmers that kept saying, "Call me Christ." I was like, just shut up.
Oh, that kid.
Yeah,
Just shut up.
I'm like, you're not God. You're not Kami-sama. You're not.
Just
Christ,
shut up.
Yeah, he was annoying.
That's probably the only one.
He took
The other
forever to fade away at the ceremony. I was ready for him to go pretty soon. Nah, he's definitely my least favorite character for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Ayato Naoi. What about you, CJ? Most annoying character or worst scene?
I don't really have like any character I didn't really like, quote unquote, like. Like, I mean, Ayato like was kind of annoying, but like his immediate shift whenever good lord, I forgot his name. Otonashi is talking to him is funny. Like he's like, "Oh, all of you are trash," and he's like, "Hey, stop it." He's, "Oh, okay, sorry, man." Like, like he was that like that part of him was funny to me. The I guess the worst scene would technically be like the best one too, which is the end. Like it's good for her, and I love her, but it's like it's horrible for him.
Yeah. No, I agree with that. Any best scenes? What's your most favorite or most enjoyable scene? You can start, Jess.
Oh my goodness, why me?
Ladies first. We're just so chivalrous over here.
There's such deep thought whenever I ask these questions.
Because now you got me to think. It's like, I don't know. I usually like scenes that make me laugh the most, so I would say probably the first episode. That whole first episode just made me crack up. But probably the one that definitely made me most emotional is definitely the end. The last, 2 episodes.
I got 3. The one when... Let's see. Obviously, the Kanade one. This is probably my number one. The Kanade, all her battle scenes, fight scenes, you guys already know. Any combat scenes, I'm definitely highly favored. So, yeah, definitely her, Kanade. When Yuri has that gunslinger moment in the computer lab with the 2 guns, that was Yuri, right? And she's shooting up all the computer screens.
Yeah, that is her.
Yeah, that was definitely an enjoyable scene for me as well. And then the third one is, I guess when Yuzuru is helping Yui with her soccer goal, and then he has one of the girls in the distance shooting the
Angel.
Guys. Oh, that was Angel.
Yeah, Angel sniping him.
Angel sniping,
just pow pow,
sniping him out the way, and then she snipes the soccer ball and she kicks it, which makes it spin and score. I was like, y'all are a team player. I was all for that. So yeah, the Yui scenes. The only part of that Yui scene that I didn't like was the baseball scene. That was a little too long. I felt like they could have either sped through it a little bit, added some side parts where she still can be swinging and we know that, and she's failing, but give me another scene in between that. I'm just literally watching her and it was just, I think it was more intense in my ears, just hearing the ball hit the bat, and I hear ting, ting, ting. I'm like, let's go. I'm tired of hearing her at a batting cage right now. She ain't smacking it over the wall. She's not getting a home run anytime soon. Let's speed this process up.
Well, we're supposed to build the suspense.
She was not getting that home run.
That was the whole point, to build the suspense, so that she wasn't. Because then you're like, well, dang, this girl's never going to pass on.
I thought they could have concluded that earlier and been like, look, did you have fun? Yes, you did. Cool, see you. Let's go by on to the next character. But that was just, my opinion. The Hinata scene where he was like, I'm very fond of you. He's like man. He's like, no. I'm like, okay.
And the American blonde dude who's always talking in raps.
Oh yeah, and dancing and stuff.
Ridiculous, but he died in some funny ways too.
Yeah, he was enjoyable.
Yeah. I looked it up. Yes, there is an alternate ending. So the alternate ending is closer to the book, where they said he realizes that he's because the long story short, I Am Legend book. He's actually the reason he's called I Am Legend is because he's technically the monster to the monsters, because they're actually worried about him because they can't be active in day. So he goes around during the day and kills them. So they tell stories of him.
Oh.
So that's why it's called I Am Legend. But the alternate ending was made because it got so much bad reviews by test audiences that he realizes he's kidnapped one of them, kind of gives them back, goes on his way, basically. Yeah. So. But anyway. So, scores? I think scores time, right?
Sure.
Yes.
Okay, I went twice.
Hey, I didn't do it this time. That was ace.
No.
We ran out of time.
No.
So we're going to start with you.
No.
Scores?
It's definitely a 9. It's definitely a 9 for me. Okay. I give it a 9. It's not a 10. And that is just because of, like CJ was saying earlier, it went fast. And, like, the world building was very quick. So, like, if you didn't catch on in that one episode, you were going to be most likely lost a little bit. But other than that, it was really great. I loved the story. I loved how it took you on an emotional roller coaster ride. The art was great. Music was great. And you know me, I'm quick and to the point. So one of y'all boys can go.
Right, Ace.
All right, I'm gonna give it a 9.5.
This man just always with these points.
A 9.75.
Oh my lord!
If we're
I just want to see CJ's reaction.
if we're getting
1.975.
I mean, I could be a 9. I could be a 9.376543321. Like, come on.
But in all seriousness, 9.5. Just because I want to be a little bit unbiased on this review, because it gave me everything that I wanted, which was the combat, comedic side, had the heartstrings, music, animation was there. It was just solid overall. And then when I take into account the year of 2010 when this came out, it definitely came out before its time. I don't think it got the credit that it deserves. And that's due to it coming out in the era of Naruto, Bleach, One Piece, all the Dragon Ball. So I'm gonna give it a 9.5. Really enjoyed it, highly recommend. And yeah, CJ, what you think? What's your rating?
So nostalgia wise, I would give it a 10, but realistically, it's not. I mean, I love the anime to death, but it's not a 10. I think realistically it's probably closer to like an 8. So I'm just going to go in the middle. So I'll give it a 9 as well, because there are some parts that I think were a little like too on the nose, like funny, like I don't know. It was good. It was a good mix. It was like a good mix of like humor, some tense moments, stuff like that. But I feel like they felt the need to give almost everybody like a backstory, and I didn't really like. One person I would have liked to see maybe a little bit more on was the first person who got obliterated, right? The singer. Like she's just off and gone. Like, and they did give a little bit of her backstory. I won't deny that, but like I felt like a little bit more time could have been spent on some characters that you did like a little bit more, and maybe fleshing out some other ones, because you had some side characters that were purely just that, which I understand, but like it wasn't like a huge cast, right? Like some people just showed up just for that, like the ninja girl or whatever, who was just comic relief. Like she was supposed to be like this badass ninja, and then you just throw a dog in her face, and oh my gosh, now she's dead. Like, so it was just certain things that like, and I'm being nitpicky about it, but I have to be because I've seen so many anime since I've seen this. So like I've seen really good ones that I always call back to. But yeah, so I'd have to give it a 9 just because personally it's a 10 for me, but realistically I think it'd be closer to like an 8. So so for me it's a 9. Next week I actually have 2 options for you. Okay. We can do the God of High School, or we can do this one. I took a screenshot of it. Where is it?
God of High School finished?
The God of High School, there's season 1 out. That's been out for a long time.
Yeah, I think I definitely finished that one. I am so biased.
Shoot. Where is this?
Oh,
is it this
no.
one? Oh, or Seth's Raid. Or this anime called Radiant. I was about to say Seth's Rage, but that's just a portion. There you go. And we're back. We got paused for a little bit because Ace can't make quick decisions.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go with Assault Lily just because I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, so we switched out the second one. Instead of Radiant, it's actually Assault Lily. I found the screenshot that I took.
And that came out in 2020. So
yeah, it's a recent one, but that's the reason I took a picture of it because I haven't seen it either. So next week, join us on that one. But until then, I am CJ.
And this is Ace.
And I'm Jess.
And we will catch you next AA meeting.